Subjection to her husband means what for a wife? "Let wives be in subjection to their husbands as to the Lord," wrote the Apostle Paul. Ephesians 5:22. This statement in no way suggests an undignified position. Prior to creating the first woman, Eve, the true God declared, "It is not good for the man to continue by himself. I am going to make a helper for him, as a complement of him." Genesis 2:18. The role of helper and complement, that of being supportive of her husband as he cares for his family responsibilities, is an honorable one indeed. Paragraph 11. Question. How does an exemplary wife build up her household? An exemplary wife works for the good of her household. Proverbs 14:1 reads, "The truly wise woman has built up her house, but the foolish one tears it down with her own hands." In contrast with a foolish woman, who shows disrespect for the headship arrangement, a wise woman has deep respect for this provision. Rather than manifesting the attitude of disobedience and independence that characterizes the world, she is in submission to her mate. A wife who is foolish does not hesitate to speak unfavorably of her husband, whereas a wise woman works to increase the respect that her children and others have for him. Such a wife is careful not to undermine her husband's headship by nagging him or arguing with him. There is also the matter of being economical. A foolish woman likely squanders her family's hard-earned resources. A supportive wife is not like that. She cooperates with her husband in financial matters. Her way of doing things is marked by prudence and economy. She does not pressure her husband to work overtime. Paragraph 12. Question. What can a wife do to help her family to stay awake? An exemplary wife helps the family to stay awake by assisting her husband in the spiritual education of the children. She actively supports the family worship program. Moreover, she is supportive of her husband when he gives counsel and discipline to their children. How different she is from an uncooperative wife whose children suffer physically and spiritually. Paragraph 13. Question. Why is it important for a wife to support her husband in his active involvement in theocratic activities? How does a supportive wife feel about seeing her husband play an active role in the Christian congregation? Why, she is joyful. Whether her husband is a ministerial servant, an elder, or perhaps a member of a hospital liaison committee or a regional building committee, she is happy about his privilege. Actively supporting her husband with words and actions will surely involve sacrifices on her part. But she is aware that her husband's involvement in theocratic activities helps the entire family to keep awake spiritually. Paragraph 14. Question A. What may be a challenge for a supportive wife, and how can she meet the challenge? Question B. How does a wife contribute to the well-being of the entire family? Being exemplary in a supportive role may be a challenge for a wife when her husband makes a decision she disagrees with. Even then, she manifests a quiet and mild spirit and cooperates with him to make his decision work. 1 Peter 3:4. A good wife tries to follow the fine examples of godly women of former times, such as Sarah, Ruth, Abigail, and Jesus' mother, Mary. She also imitates present-day older women who are reverent in behavior. Titus 2:3-4. By showing love and respect for her husband, an exemplary wife contributes much to the marital partnership and to the well-being of the entire family. Her home is a place of comfort and safety. To a spiritual man, a supportive wife is priceless. Youths, keep your eyes on the things unseen. Paragraph 15. Question. How can young ones work along with their parents so that the family will stay awake? How can you young ones work along with your parents so that your family will stay awake spiritually? Consider the prize that Jehovah has set before you. Perhaps from your childhood, your parents showed you illustrations depicting life in paradise. As you grew older, They likely used the Bible and Christian publications to help you visualize what everlasting life would be like in the new world. Keeping your eyes focused on service to Jehovah and planning your life accordingly will help you to stay awake. Paragraphs 16 and 17. Question: what can youths do to run the race for life successfully? Take to heart the Apostle Paul's words found at 1 Corinthians 9:24, which reads, "Do you not know that the runners in a race all run, but only one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may attain it." Run the race for life with the full intention of winning. Choose a course that will result in attaining the prize of everlasting life. Many have allowed the pursuit of material things to distract them from keeping their eyes on the prize. How foolish that is! Planning a life around gaining riches does not lead to true happiness. The things money can buy are temporary. You, though, keep your eyes on the things unseen. Why? Because the things unseen are everlasting. 2 Corinthians 4:18. The things unseen include kingdom blessings. Plan to live your life in such a way as to attain them. Real happiness comes from using your life in Jehovah's service. Serving the true God provides opportunities to reach out for short-range as well as long-range goals. Setting realistic spiritual goals can help you to stay focused on serving God with a view to attaining the prize of everlasting life. Paragraphs 18 and 19. Question: how can a young person determine if he has made the truth his own? Young ones, the first step on the road to life is to make the truth your own. Have you taken that step? Ask yourself, am I a spiritual person? Or is my participation in spiritual activities dependent on my parents? Do I cultivate qualities that make me pleasing to God? Do I make an effort to maintain a consistent routine of sharing in activities related to true worship, such as regular prayer, study, meeting attendance, and field service? Am I drawing close to God by nurturing a personal relationship with Him? Reflect on Moses' example. Despite having been subjected to a foreign culture, he chose to be identified as a worshiper of Jehovah rather than a son of the daughter of Pharaoh. Hebrews 11:24-27 reads, "By faith Moses, when grown up, refused to be called the son of the daughter of Pharaoh, choosing to be ill-treated with the people of God rather than to have the temporary enjoyment of sin, because he esteemed the reproach of the Christ as riches greater than the treasures of Egypt. For he looked intently toward the payment of the reward. By faith he left Egypt, but not fearing the anger of the king, for he continued steadfast as seeing the one who is invisible." Christian youths, you too need to be determined to serve Jehovah faithfully. By doing that, you will gain true happiness, the best quality of life now, and the hope of getting a firm hold on the real life. 1 Timothy 6:19. Paragraph 20. Question: in the race for life, who received the prize? In the ancient games, only